Hello! It is I, Kamen Rider Fire. I'm doing something exciting today, at least for me. I am going to do a review of a current Super Sentai series episode. Woo! Dobutsu Sentai Zyuohger premiered on the 14th. It is the 15th now. I have just watched the first episode, subtitled by Overtime, and I'm here to give my thoughts on it while this episode is still relatively new. So, where do we start first? I think I'm gonna start where most episodes start, with the opening theme song. I really, really love it. It has a great energy to it. The singer does a great job. I think it's Project R who did stuff for some, who did some work for Gosager, I believe, maybe Abba Ranger. I can't be exactly certain about that. But yeah, I love the opening theme, even if I am excited for the full extended version to actually see how that one goes. I felt it was a little short, like they were trying to say more, but it just kind of ended. But I still love it. I think it's a great theme, and it really gets you pumped up for the show, and they actually used it during the ending fight scene, which was great. Next, I want to talk about the costumes. A lot of people don't seem to like the Zyuohger suits. I love them. They're great. I love the simplistic design. Seems very reminiscent of a little bit of Dino Thunder for the actual helmet designs, but I'm getting a really cool kind of Mighty Morphin designs from the actual chest emblems and the boots. Yes, and I know they don't look like the Mighty Morphin suits, but I'm getting a very nice, clean, interesting vibe from them, quite like I do with the Zyuranger slash Mighty Morphin suits. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this first episode? It's been like 3 minutes since I saw it, so I'm trying to kind of get my thoughts together as I talk to you guys. Well, let's first talk about the characters. Unfortunately, this was the first episode, so you were kind of. Well, they were kind of putting the series together, telling you about Zhuland. As far as I can tell, it was another dimension that was accessible by these things called link cubes. They are the main power source for the group. They are at least the changers slash morphers. I think they also have something to do with the Zhuo blaster. However, that was not really explained. My biggest problem with this episode, even though I really liked it, was a lot of it was just series setup. So I'm hoping for more mythology in the coming episodes, but the characters came off really well. My favorite so far being Leo, the Yellow Ranger, the lion. Um, I guess my thing, and even though I really like this episode, the fights were amazing. The theme song was great. I like the Ranger designs. I like the little bit of the characters that we saw for the Rangers. I think Zhuland, if they ever go back and don't just set it in modern day Japan, would be really interesting. Um, a lot of this was set up, so unfortunately there's not much to say, but I do hope to continue these reviews in the coming weeks. So, for now, I will just give a brief summary of the plot. There's this guy called Yamato. I think his name was Mr. Yamato. He is a zoologist, and he was showing this group of people around the forest. I think it was an animal preserve, but once again, it wasn't really stated. But as he's trying to put a bird egg away, something falls out of his backpack, and he goes rushing to chase it. This is actually his link cube. So once he grabs his link cube, after he chases it, this giant link cube appears in front of him, twists itself around, and he enters his link cube into it, transporting him to this alternate dimension, I think, called Zhuland, where animals have evolved to basically kind of anthropomorphic hybrids, which is really cool. The group show him around Zhuland. It seems very tribal or very mystical. It seems like an older world rather than a modern day thing full of technology. And apparently there are also regular animals in there, as the Green Ranger, who is an elephant, comes riding an elephant. And we never really get an explanation into why, but it's really interesting, and that's why later in the plot, the bad guys, who I don't really know what their goal is. I don't know what the bad guy's goal is at this point. But they have a really cool name, Death Galleon. Sounds like a name for a bunch of evil people. They start attacking our world, and somehow the Link Cube starts acting up as they're interrogating Yamato about his supposedly stolen Link Cube. He uses his Link Cube and tries to go back home, which drags the others with him into our world, our dimension. And from there on, it's them morphing or changing, henshining into the Zyuohgers and fighting. We see this more enhanced mode. It's just called Beasts Awaken, I think it is. It's kind of like the Abare mode or Super Dino mode from Dino Thunder / Abba Ranger. It's quite interesting, even though, once again, it's not really explained. They say they're drawing out the Zhu-Men powers. That's what the Rangers' animal forms are called, Zhu-Mens. And why it's called Zhu, I actually learned, is a pun on zoo, so it's Zoomen, but not exactly said that way. So the bad guys come down, try and destroy some people and some forest and stuff. They fight, form the mecha, destroy them, and then the Red Ranger, Mr. Yamato, offers to take in the group while they are stuck in the human world because the giant Link Cube was destroyed by the Generals, Monster of the Weeks. I don't really know. Big Bang attack, pretty much. So right now, the Zyuohgers, the Zhu-Mens, are stuck in the human world, and it's going to be Yamato's turn to really look after them. So I can't really say much, except I really enjoyed this episode. I would give it an A. Not A+, because if it was an A+, I would feel I would know a little bit more about the villain's plan. But as it is, it gets an A. I love it. And I'm excited to hopefully bring you guys more episode reviews in the coming weeks. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.